It's a great day in Dublin today. I'm Stacy Brooks here with Mr. Bobby Jones from the Lawrence Baptist Association. Glad to have you for a few moments. I
Good to
just
be
want to
here.
give him an opportunity to tell us a little bit about what the LBA is. Tell us a little bit about yourself and all the we're seeing great and wonderful things done through here. So I want to make sure I give you time to cover those.
Oh, okay. It's good to have you here today. I'm excited about sharing about what Lawrence Baptist Association does. We are 52 churches, and we come together to do ministry, not only here locally, but around the world. And we do mission trips. We help do ministry here. We've got a lot of different ministries throughout the county that is reaching people and ministering and meeting their needs, but also sharing the gospel with our county that desperately needs to hear the gospel. So I'm so thankful for our 52 churches, all of its pastors and their members, and their excitement about ministry and missions and helping us to just be obedient to the Great Commission that God has given us.
Awesome. So you mentioned about 52 churches. Now, I know we tried to do our best to get a huge map in our shot here today. Can you tell us a little bit about why this map is so significant?
Well, this map is significant. We purchased that for our annual meeting that we just did on Sunday, the 15th of October, because we were celebrating the 10 years that I've been here, because that's, the time frame that I know, and what God has been doing in those 10 years through our churches. And we are reaching 40 different countries and 27 different states. We've got church plants in the Philippines. We've got several church plants in Mexico. And we are looking at doing another church plant and training center down near Guatemalan border in Chiapas in Mexico. And so God is doing some amazing things. But this map just is a visual of how we're reaching the world. Our 52 churches is ministering globally, and I wanted them to see that and to see that all of their efforts is really carrying the gospel to all the four corners of the world.
So the areas that you just mentioned, all of those are just the areas that the Lawrence Baptist Association, all the churches are reaching. This map and all those 52 different flags that we saw, that's areas that people from here are actually having a part in going into missions.
That's exactly right. It's just our 52 churches. Now, Georgia Baptist Convention and different people reach other places, but this is just our 52 churches working together to reach those 67 places all around the world. And that was the purpose of bringing in those 67 flags, because I also wanted them to see the different countries and to know how their efforts are being received around the world, and that we are seeing people come to know Jesus Christ around the world because of their efforts.
That's amazing. And now you guys do outreach ministries. I know you have some different things going on in the community. We're going to get into those, but I want to touch real quickly on some of the relief effort that the LBA was actually able to do during the recent hurricane. Can you tell us a bit about what you guys did during that time?
Yeah, we were like the hub for all the resources that were provided. When Don called with EMA and said, can y'all handle all the resources and provide all the needs that we need to take care of all the hundreds of evacuees that we're going to have? I said, sure, I will do that. And somebody asked me, they said, how did you know that you were going to be able to provide all that? And I said, because there's never been a time when we put out word to our 52 churches and even to our community, because it was other churches other than our 52 that helped provide those resources. But we were just tremendously blessed. If they knew of a need, they put it on Facebook, and I'm telling you, it was provided in no time. So we were able to minister to those evacuees. I was at an EMA meeting the other day, and I think they said we actually had about 750 or plus evacuees here. And so we were able to meet their needs, providing whatever they needed while they were here. and all that the Department of Public Health or the EMA would call and say, okay, we need you to bring us so-and-so or whatever, and we had runners that would carry that to all the different places the evacuees were. And so we were able to do that, but also after that, after all the evacuees went back home, our disaster relief began to kick in as well. And so we have a disaster relief trailer and people that actually go out and cut trees off of homes, out of yards, help widow individuals that couldn't do anything about the trees in their yards. So for about a week and a half, we had teams out doing that all over the county, just making sure that people were taken care of, and we could minister to them in a different way at that point in time.
And I think it's great. Dublin-Lawrence County is always amazing when it comes to coming together in a time of need. So I know that you guys probably literally had hundreds of volunteers, people offering to do things. It's just great to know that we live in a community that does come together, and I know how important a role you guys played during that disaster. And of course, that disaster relief, we were out with the sanitation workers weeks after the hurricane had already come through, and they were still working diligently, sun up to sundown. There was a lot of devastation. I don't think people realize just how much debris was left here during the hurricane. So I know how very important that is. I also know you've got some other ministries we want to make sure we talk about. We're going to do that after this brief commercial break.
Hello, I'm Tammy Vaughn with Altamaha EMC.
I'm Romanis Dodson, the General Manager.
And we would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our members for their patience during the recent power outages related to Hurricane Irma. We know how difficult it was for each and every one of us, for our members, our linemen, our office staff, and those who came in from other states to assist with this catastrophic event. To every one of you, our members, we say thank you from Altamaha EMC. We appreciate your business, and we're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, always willing to serve you. Thank you so much for being a part of your member-owned EMC.
Hi, I'm Anna Grace with Myers Equipment and Supply, your dealer for the complete line of Can-Am side-by-sides and ATV products. For hunting, farming, or riding the trails, Can-Am has the models you need. If you like a little sport to your ride, choose the versatile Can-Am Commander. With the best-in-class power and versatility, this side-by-side features the essentials that change the off-road landscape. Industry-leading performance, precision-engineered handling, and rider-focused design are all on display every time you hit the throttle. Come into Myers Equipment today and see the full line of Can-Am ATVs and side-by-sides. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
Welcome back. Being joined here again for Dublin Today with Mr. Bobby Jones, who is the Lawrence Baptist Associational missionary. He's been telling us about some great work they've been doing not only in our community, but as you can see from the map behind us, that's reaching out to all areas of the globe. So I'd like for you just to take an opportunity. Tell us about some of these local things or ministries that you guys have going on.
There's a whole list of them, but just to highlight a few, one of the things, and I think a lot of people in our county has heard about our Lawrence Baptist Associational ministry centers, but we reach about 10,000 families a year through that ministry center, and it is providing food, it is providing clothes, it is providing other things that they need, and they can come there and they are ministered to. They have to see a counselor. And so, if they are a repeated customer and we've already shared the gospel and maybe we already know that they're Christian, we still meet with them because you'd be surprised how many of those people just need somebody to listen to them, somebody to pray with them, somebody to let them know that they care about them, because a lot of these individuals don't have that. And so that's an important ministry, but we have a ton of volunteers. In fact, for all of our ministries together, we have to have about 175 to 200 volunteers to make sure all of these ministries work and they do what they're supposed to be doing. But we've started another ministry center over in East Dublin. We had one years ago and we closed it because the building was in need of repair. But we have a church plant over there, and it is Dayspring East Dublin, and so they have partnered with us, and we are doing a ministry center there as well. And they feed about 175 people every Tuesday, and most of those are very impoverished people, are elderly people in East Dublin, and even some of the people that are in the hotels over there. And so they're able to go there and have a hot meal every Tuesday, and they're able to get clothes and food and different things of that nature. And they have counselors they meet with as well. And so the ministry centers is really touching people, but also sharing the gospel with them as well. But then we also have the Joy Clinic, and I think you're going to be visiting there a little later. But it is a medical clinic, a free medical clinic, a free dental clinic, and free eye clinic. We have volunteer doctors and nurses and PAs and all kind of medical personnel that come and help meet the needs of those individuals that do not have insurance. And so you'd be surprised how many people in Lawrence County don't have insurance because they just can't afford it. And so for people that don't have insurance, they can come there and they can see a physician. The Fairview Park Hospital partners with us on that, and so they do a lot of tests for us and a lot of blood work and different things free of charge so that we can provide that for those families as well. We did have a pharmacy there, and that was really difficult to get volunteer pharmacists to come in because when they came in on Tuesday, it was like you got to fill 200 prescriptions in this short period of time. And I mean, they loved doing it, but it was just difficult to get all that done. So now we're partnering with Tomlinson Pharmacy, and they are pretty much filling the prescriptions for us at their cost, plus just a tad bit to pay for, all the expense they have. And so that's worked really well. And so our patients can go there, get their prescriptions filled, and we pay for it. And so, because you'd be surprised how many patients just can't afford their medicines as well. And then we have a lady who we have hired that works at the clinic, and all she does, or one of the main jobs she has, let me rephrase that, is that she writes grants for people that have really expensive medicines, and like inhalers and things of that nature, and insulin that we would not be able to afford to pay for. And so she writes grants to make sure that they get that on a monthly basis, and they are able to get their monthly medicines through the mail. And so that helps them as well. When we first started this, we found that there are so many patients that had not seen the doctor in so many years, they didn't even know what all the problems were they had. They were diabetic, they had high blood pressure. We found people that has had cancer. We found people that had major heart problems that were at the brink of passing away. And so we've been able to get them into doctor's offices, and they see the patients either pro bono or they see them for a little bit of cost, and we pay for that, and able to get them the treatments that they need. So that's been a major blessing. But even in there, they see a counselor, and it's just fun when I go over there when it's my turn to counsel that night. It's just really fun because those people are so appreciative, and they love us, and they love the ministry that we're doing there. So that's a great ministry there. But also, one of the things that we've started recently is chaplain ministry. Now, I've been a chaplain for Fairview Park Hospital for a while, but Tim Chapman at the Dublin Police Department wanted me to be the chaplain, and there was no way with my busy schedule I could do that. So we sat down and talked about it, and so we've solicited chaplains so that somebody could be on call every week, and we go in and do devotions with them. We have prayer time with them, and we are in and out of the police station during the week, just building relationships with all the officers and personnel there, ministering to them in any way that we possibly can if they have needs or their families have needs. Well, now that's kind of spread, and now we're doing it for the Dublin Fire Department, also for the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department, and also for the 911 Center. So we've had to add more chaplains in there to get all that done. And so it is. It is. It really is. And plus, it's getting our pastors out in the community, because I'm telling you, we would never cross those people's path if it had not been that we were the chaplain for that week. And so we've been put in the lives of people and able to minister to them in a major way, and that's just been great. And we're able to let them see the love of Christ. And so help them also know that we care about them, we appreciate them, we love them, we care about them. And so that's been a great ministry as well. Another thing that we've started back is our Lawrence Baptist Association FCA Sports Camp. We did that for several years, had about 500 or 600 kids from all walks of life, from every part of our county that would be there, and they had like probably 10 different sports that they could sign up for. They would have Christian coaches that are working with them, and then they would have huddle leaders that would do little Bible studies with them and that type of stuff throughout the night. Then we had a big worship service at the end. We saw numerous kids to come know Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. And we kind of stopped that for a couple of years, but we've started that back last year and had a great year. And this last year we did it at Dublin High School, but this next year coming up June 11th through 14th. So please don't plan your vacation Bible school that week. But we're doing it at East Lawrence schools and moving it over there. We're trying to move it around in the county. And so we're really excited about that and really expect God to do some major things through that as well. We've also started a new ministry here recently called Families for Families. And that is, we are partnering with DFACS, and because DFACS is overwhelmed. And there are so many kids that need fostering, but they don't have the families to do that. And so what a great way that we can share the love of Christ if we can have families in our churches to foster those kids, let them see the love of Christ, let them be loved, let them be carried to church and hear the gospel and see that not only at church but in our home while they're there with us. And so what we're doing is partnering with them, trying to get Christian families to foster kids. And so the kids won't have to be carried outside the county. They can still be here, but also they can actually be ministered to and see the love of Christ as they are in that foster home.
I know most of my viewers know that fostering is very near and dear to my heart, and I think sometimes I like to remind them that you don't realize how great a need there is in Dublin Lawrence
That's
County
exactly right.
for good foster families. We think about larger areas needing more, but we're to the point we'll have to send our own children from Dublin Lawrence County to other areas.
We're doing that now.
Yes, already. So that is a great program. We're going to talk about a few more in just a moment. We'll be right back.
Since the early 1980s, Century 21 Durden Cortegay has proudly served our community's best interest and has grown to consecutively be the #1 realtor in Dublin and Lawrence County. And broker George Durden is proud of his team of agents and recognizes Jody Tanner, Jim Jarrett, Pam Tillery, David Deeves, Beverly Forbes, Ann Adams, Raina Dubberly, Benny Helton, Charlene Brantley, Ruth Watson, Jay Brantley, Charlene Lamp, Yvonne Robertson, Karen Whitmer, and broker George Durden. Thank you for allowing Century 21 Durden Cortegay to serve you for more than 35 years.
Hi, my name is Regina McCrae, and I'm running for Dublin City Board of Education at large, and I need your vote.
I'm Doug Wolf.
And I'm Jean Wolf.
And we support Regina McCrae for the Dublin City School Board at Large position. Regina has lots of experience counseling troubled children, knows children well. And also she has 2 children in the school system.
So vote for me November 7th for Dublin City Board of Education at large.
Welcome back. It's been a great day here in Dublin, Lawrence County. Again, talking to Mr. Bobby Jones over at the Lawrence Baptist Association. He was telling us about some of the outreach ministries that are going on right here through our community. Going to give you a chance to tell us maybe a little bit more about those, and also what way our community can help you guys in these outreach ministries.
We try to make our outreach so diverse that we're reaching everybody. So one of the things that we've started is a truck stop ministry. It's right off of 16 on Highway 19, the truck stop there. And we're ministering to those truckers. We're sharing the gospel with them. We're just out listening to them, praying with them. And we have a chapel there that they've provided for us. And Ben Cochran has given us that that big area to do a chapel in. And so it's been a great ministry just reaching truckers. You'd be surprised. They're on the road so much, away from family, not able to go to church on a regular basis and all that kind of stuff. And so it's a great ministry as we are just giving them the opportunity to have somebody to pray with them, to hear the gospel, to just, have a Bible study or whatever. So that's been a great ministry as well. Another thing that we do for the kids in Appalachia is we do Backpacks for Hope. And our churches have responded so tremendously to that. The first year we did that, we carried them to Bluefield, Virginia, West Virginia. And we were shooting for about 750, and we ended up with 900, right at 1,000 that we were able to pass out. And then this next year, we carried them to Clintwood, Virginia, and that's an old coal mine town that is really impoverished in the Appalachians. And so we were hoping to get about 900. We ended up with right at 1,300. And so we were able to carry about 1,000 up there, but also we did outreach locally. Two of our church plants, they had an outreach program and giving away of backpacks, and so we were able to do that with all the others. So we did that locally, but also there in the Appalachians, and you'd be surprised how those kids just are so appreciative, and those families, because those families a lot of times can't afford to buy the backpacks or all the stuff that they need for school. And then we put some extra stuff in there just for the kids to have fun with and play with and have, toys and different things. And so that's really neat as well. Now at our ministry center, one of our ministers resigned and went into full-time ministry in Haiti as a missionary there. And so one of the things that we did at our annual meeting is we collected Christmas bags for the Haitian kids. And I'm not for sure the total number. We were shooting for 1,500, and I still don't have a total count of that as of yet. But we know that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bags were brought in. And so we got them on the ship yesterday. And so they're on their way to Haiti, and Carol will meet them there, and he will be able to hand those bags out at Christmas time for those Haitian kids. And what a blessing that will be.
That's amazing. We actually, I counted a privilege. I had his family on my show, and his love for the Haitian people just radiates from him and his entire family. So I'm so glad that they got those bags off. We had talked about that a little on our show, but his very love for Christ and just the fact that he knows this is where God's called him. Again, we're keeping the map behind us because we want people to know we're not only reaching people in Dublin, Lawrence County, we're reaching people across the world. So if you packed a bag, you may have thought it's just a bag, it's not a big deal, but to those people, it is a big deal. You're being the very hands and feet of Christ when you do that. So I'm glad to hear those made the ship as well.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like when we carry the backpacks up into the Appalachians, a lot of times those kids will open their backpack, and the thing that you would not be excited about at all, they would be extremely excited about. Last year, a kid opened his backpack, and the first thing that he pulled out was a can of Campbell's soup, and he was so excited. He said, "I cannot believe that somebody knew that this is my favorite soup." This year, a little girl sat down and she opened her backpack, and she had a blanket and a doll and some other stuff, but she was so excited about the little doll and the blanket that our kids would not think two things about. And so you'd be surprised how you're touching those people's lives just by taking a few moments and a few dollars and filling up a bag or a backpack or whatever and sending that off. You're making a dent in somebody's life. You're touching them, and you're allowing them to see the love of Christ. Now, you may not ever see that kid.
That's right.
But yet and still, I'm here to tell you, those families and those kids are very appreciative for that.
I agree. I've seen that, and I know that you guys do so many different ministries here. If someone has a desire, maybe they don't know everything that's going on, can you give them a number they may be able to call to get more involved, or if you have things that you need that they're willing to donate, either their time, their talents. Of course, everything takes funds. We tell people that all the time. Your time is invaluable. Your time is one of our most precious assets, but it does take money to do these
That's exactly
outreach
right.
programs. So is there a number here at Lawrence Baptist Association they may be able to call if they have questions or want to make a donation, or just maybe volunteer some of their time?
272-0361. And let me mention one other thing really, really fast, the Mustard Seed Ministry that we've started, and that's for women with addictions, and then Last Chance Ministries that we've started, and that's for men with addictions as well. And so God is doing some amazing things. I could tell you story after story how lives have been changed through those ministries.
Drugs and even alcohol, but there are a lot of families being torn apart here in Dublin, Lawrence County. So I'm so excited to see that you guys are reaching out to those families, because family units are so important.
That's exactly right.
And that goes along with foster care. The end result is always to reunify these families, and how great it is that you have a ministry that are putting these children where they can see that true love of Christ, where they can be reunited hopefully with their families, and you know, out of the mouths of babes. I truly believe sometimes that children get to us before, you know, adults. I always say it's easier to teach a child than to retrain an adult.
Right, that's exactly right.
If we start with those young ones, it really does have a great impact. I appreciate you sharing so much with us. Look forward to hearing more great things from Lawrence Baptist Association, and also look forward to going over and seeing Joy Clinic.
All right, thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I'm Marcus Clements with Clements & King Insurance. We now sell final expense life insurance for seniors. Life insurance available through age 85. Guaranteed acceptance. Call Clements & King Insurance for all your health and life insurance needs.
There's nothing quite like a delicious meal with friends and family. That's why the newest and most exciting restaurant is now open in downtown Dublin, the Local Yokel Cafe. We specialize in serving breakfast, brunch, and lunch all day, 7 days a week to ensure each meal is a great one. Whether you're having our huge portions of eggs Benedict, omelets, or waffles in the morning, or our giant hamburger steak platter or jaw-dropping turkey avocado wrap for lunch, we are ready to please you. Breakfast, brunch, and lunch, it's what we do. The Local Yokel Cafe in downtown Dublin and next to Georgia Military College.
Welcome back. I'm here at the Joy Clinic with Miss Janice Kennedy. Of course, she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and what the Joy Clinic does. We heard over from Mr. Bobby Jones over at Lawrence Baptist Association. This is one of the ministries through the association, and it seems like it's definitely needed and having a great response. I appreciate you taking a moment of your time today to tell us a little bit about what Joy Clinic is. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Again, I'm Janice Kennedy. I'm the clinic director here at the Joy Clinic. The Joy Clinic is a combination of the medical side, the dental side, and the eye clinics that we do here for Lawrence County. Our emphasis is to help the working uninsured of Lawrence County. We're located at 410 Academy Avenue here for our administrative offices, and we have our dental clinic down the street at 112 Rose Street. We see patients on the medical side at 5 o'clock on Tuesdays, and we see all of our patients until they're all taken care of, as many as we have scheduled, and we do that every Tuesday. And all of our people that take care of our patients are all volunteers. The doctors, the nurses, the administrative staff, the counselors, all of these are volunteers that we've scheduled to work the clinics. And then on our dental side, we have 3 dentists that volunteer with us. They come when their schedules permit, so usually it's 3 clinics a month at the dental side. And on the eye clinic, we usually do 1 eye clinic a quarter.
Okay. So we were talking over at LBA that sometimes people just really don't realize what a great need we have for these ministries in Dublin. And of course, there are hundreds upon hundreds of people who are uninsured because they simply can't afford it. So, you know, when we think about we get a cold or allergies like I've been battling with, we just run out to the doctor. But there are a lot of people in Lawrence County who can't do that. They can't just run to the doctor. And, you know, some of these things, you know, we've even heard, you know, we think about faraway countries where people get an abscessed tooth and die. But we have people right here in Dublin, Lawrence County that need that dental care and that vision care and, of course, the medical care. So is there a way that maybe our community can help you guys out? Tell me some things we can do to help with the needs here at Joy Clinic.
Well, the Joy Clinic always needs volunteers. And let me just say this about the the volunteers. if you're a licensed professional, a doctor, a dentist, a nurse, all these licensed professionals, they are covered under a program called Sovereign Immunity with the state of Georgia. So you're protected, your license is protected under the state of Georgia's program. It's similar to the Good Samaritan law that's in place. So you're protected there, you're covered there. No one's going to sue you and get to you. So take comfort in that, so there's no problem there.
Because that is an issue, unfortunately,
Absolutely.
in our medical field. And you may work in the medical field and you'd like to volunteer, but you're afraid. It's to the
Right.
point sometimes people are afraid to stop and help people, even in accidents. So it's sad that our society is that way, but that's definitely a concern.
That's
So
right.
they can volunteer without having that concern.
That's exactly right. So we need volunteers. We also need administrative staff. No license is required for that. We always need help with our lawn care and our grounds on both the clinics. So we need help on a lot of different levels. And there we have something. If you want to volunteer, we have something you can do. We also, and we always need, money's always an issue with these free clinics. We do not charge our patients for their visits, for their medications, for the work that we do here, but we all know that it costs something.
Yes, everything takes money. We talk about that with nonprofits all the time.
It does.
It's great, but everything, it's just life. It takes
does.
funding.
So we do, it would always help to have donations, and we do get them we get grants and donations from local churches and civic groups. So as far as the money, there's always a need for it. And what we would like to do is expand services, but we do have restrictions and limitations with our finances. So we run a tight ship here. We are good stewards of our money that we're given, and we do a lot for a lot of people on a shoestring budget.
And I hear that numerous times throughout our community, but I also know Dublin and Lawrence County is phenomenal when it comes to supporting things, whether it's a ministry or just a need. We are great about coming together. So if you're watching and it's possible for you to donate to this, your time, there is no value on your time.
That's
volunteering, right. And I'll tell you from a personal standpoint, volunteering, I always feel more blessed than I feel like I bless someone. It's very rewarding if you can volunteer your time, your talents, and of course if you would like to make a one-time contribution or if you would like to make a continual contribution. What's a good number if they have questions, or we may even have people watching our show who can't afford health care, and they may not know that your clinic's available. Can you give them a number where they can call for that?
Absolutely. Our administrative office number is 478-272-4071. So just call that number. We're here between 8 and 5, Monday through Wednesday. I also work on Thursdays, but we don't hold that day open for patient care. So just give us a call. We'll give you some information, and appreciate anything and all that you could do for us.
Awesome. Well, Janice, I appreciate you taking just a few moments out, and on behalf of Lawrence County and myself, we do appreciate the job that you guys are doing, of course, working with folks who don't have insurance. So thank you for doing that. Excited to see the things that are still to come from Joy Clinic, and hoping you guys can expand to really cover things they know that need to be covered, but you just got to have that funding. So hope that you guys are able to do that as well.
Right, and just one more input I'd like to say is we get no federal or state funding. So we operate off of grants and donations. So there really is a real need for that. So we appreciate all that you can do.
Awesome. Well, it's been a great day in Dublin today. Remember, if there's any way you could contribute to any of these ministries, you can even call the voicemail line at 478-277-5993. I'm Stacy Brooks, and I hope you have a great day in Dublin today.